Hello and welcome to LoreDump with me, your host, Madeline Albright, and as always, with my lovely assistant, Sandra Q.
Who?
Hugh Cole, and welcome back to LoreDump. We're here after our extended hiatus of 1 week to bring you the newest episode, which is on the best streaming service to never exist or ever exist, depending on how you define it. Quibi.
Ripped. Mwah. 2020 to 2020.
And this is going to be a full disclosure one. This is attempt number 2.
Jared, why does 2020 steal everything from us?
I don't know. Why does it always take us 2 attempts to record something?
Because we keep getting echoes.
It's just because we're bad. Why are we bad at things? Anyway,
Fuck.
taking 2022 in like.
Jared, when was the first time you heard of Quibi?
I would say March of 2020, right after quarantine hit. We were down in the beach house. And
yes.
You pull up your freaking phone. Like, have you heard of Quibi? And I'm like, what the hell is Quibi? And he pulls out this fucking He pulls out the Quibi website, and we spent like an hour talking about the worst streaming platform ever.
Yeah, and how it was phone only.
How is that a good idea? Who's like, you know what people want? To watch crap on their phone.
Like only on your phone.
Yeah, no, it's not available on computer. If you're watching the video version, you'll see now I'm on the Quibi website, and I cannot actually pull up a show.
Also, we tried to make an account just for this video to look at it to see what it's about.
To see what we can still watch. And well, let's be real here. You can't watch anything.
No, they're shutting it down, and only people who already have access can log in right now. Or at least I can't find the button. So
hold on. I'll try and make an episode while we were recording. I'll make a account. It's been a long week, folks. I will let you know that I'm recording this. We were recording this 7 hours before it has to go up.
It'll be good. It'll be fine.
We're flaky. We were talking about how flaky we were for most of today, and boy, does this just put the nail in the coffin? Am I right?
Should really get better.
Yeah, we should actually work on things as time passes instead of just like, oh, let's do it tomorrow. Let's do it all now. Hold on. What was I doing? Quibi. I don't have the app.
While you're trying to make it and download it, let me tell you about it. So who the fuck made this thing? And I'll tell you who. Jeffrey Katzenberg.
Mr. Katzenbergs. What's he like, Paul?
So he's an old Disney exec from the 80s. Mm-hmm. And he helped bring about the Renaissance period. You know, they had that lion movie, that mermaid movie, the Arab movie.
I just like how you call it the Arab movie.
Yeah.
Not Aladdin.
Both start today. And then he got kicked out in 94 and started DreamWorks. Where he was also an asshole there. He rushed Ants 2 months.
To try and beat A Bug's Life, right?
Yeah, he rushed it out and it beat Bug's Life by 2 months. But then when Bug's Life came out, it knocked it out of the park and sold way more than fucking DreamWorks did. And then they shit on... Yeah, then they shit on Disney with Shrek, where... An example of such is that Lord Farquaad is literally just a caricature of Michael Eisner, who was the current Disney exec. So he had some... He wasn't happy with the separation, you could tell. And
then also divorced pretty badly. I'm going to check out Quibi's Twitter.
How's their Twitter?
I haven't posted since October 20th.
Well, that's just fucking sad.
So no, I can't make an account. I mean, I have the app.
One thing I do want to... Ooh, I'm so sorry.
It's cold for you.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I bumped it. My hands were flaying. That's what I do. So I want to say that during the 2010s, Katzenberg had this whole prediction on the future of movies. And you tell me if it's accurate, Jared. So everyone was going to own their own pair of 3D glasses.
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
That were,
I don't own
that were
3D
gonna
glasses.
that were going to turn from sunglasses to 3D glasses, and they were going to be made by Oakley, Jared, and they were to be called movie glasses. 3D was the way of the future.
While that is true, but in a much different aspect. Every movie is shot in 3D now. If you guys aren't aware of this, every movie that you watch is shot in 3D. Did you know that, Cole?
I did not. Is it just like the technology there is just easily convertible?
Yes, it's because that what it does is it expands the shot.
Hmm.
And now you know how it's like nowadays in the past like 3 or 4 years, movies have gotten like this wider shot on things.
Yeah.
That is due to them filming in 3D.
Huh.
Yeah.
And what I like to bring up this fact is because during that period of time, he predicted all this while failing to foresee the rise of streaming, which was happening right then and there.
Yeah, Netflix was 2010s when Netflix hit its stride.
Yeah, and it's funny to watch him like guess completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other co-creator was Meg Whitman. I googled her, and I didn't really get anything. She bounced around like Disney and all that between the 70s and 80s, and
Pulling
then
up her Wikipedia page.
in 1998 she joined eBay, and then she left in '08, became part of H&P, and then she was kicked out of that, and now she's part of Quibi, or was part of Quibi.
No, now she is a part of Procter and Gamble and Dropbox, and IGC, not Indie Game Club.
No.
It's the Immortals gaming thing. Their League of Legends team. She's apparently an investor in the Immortals gaming. She works for Dropbox, and I don't know what Procter and Gamble is. P&G. She is also a notable member of the Republican Party, as well as has a associates in business from Princeton and a master's in business from Harvard.
Sounds like a white person.
Oh my God, she so is. Anyway,
and the picture
also,
I picked for
she
my
also owns part of FC Cincinnati for all you MLS fans.
Ooh.
They're a soccer team, Cole, from Cincinnati.
Well, I'm American, so the only soccer I know is the one that flies through the air and is in a bowl.
Bowl? They have a bowl? I don't know what it is. It's a something bowl. It has the trophy people drink out of and get sick. That's a completely different sport, Cole.
Yeah, that's fucking hockey.
At least you know what hockey is. I mean, I'll give you that one.
Hockey's fun to watch. But anyway.
Oops. I shot my stream dyno.
So, Jared, what the fuck is Quibi?
Oh, can I answer it?
You can try.
It's a bad idea that lost billions of dollars.
Besides that.
Do you want me to give the answer you have written down because I know it, or do you want me to give my own answer?
Give your own answer, Jared. Be original.
It's the worst streaming platform ever made. It's the worst watching platform ever made. I'm very much including Vine and Mixer in that.
Ooh. No, it's short form is for quick bites with quick. Quibi. You get it?
So I will say, we're gonna get into a lot of subjects here, but I'll say let's go look at Quibi careers real quick. I'll say, there's not a lot to be excited about with Quibi,
Oh, like premise wise?
Like yeah, but one thing I will note is they have a good logo design.
Fine, it's a Q.
But why isn't the Q in the word Quibi that Q?
I don't know.
That's the one problem.
And
like the shading on it. I like the colors. The purple is a really nice touch. If it was just like if you just told me to judge it based off the look of the little app box thing, I would tell you it looks like a pretty legit app,
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy.
So the whole idea was to like make short form entertainment in 10 to 5 minute bites that you can all watch on your phone.
Why? You can only watch on your phone.
Yeah, you can only watch. Yeah.
Why though? Why? Like Cole, what is there a benefit to limiting
And you know what's the weirdest thing I'm realizing?
What?
It's weird. It's very, very weird considering the way media is going. It's not going shorter, it's going longer.
Yes. Peace.
It's like, look at Breaking Bad, look at Game of Thrones, not the end. Westworld, you know?
I mean, even look at short form content like YouTube. Even them, they're dragging their videos out to 15, 20 minutes now, because that's what YouTube wants them to do.
Yeah.
Live streams are becoming more and more popular, and the biggest live streamers are getting more and more views as ever, and they're on for 8 hours at a time.
And like all the competitors, all of its competing platforms, like you look at the market on what it has to compete with, like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Crunchyroll, YouTube, Shudder, Amazon Prime Video, BritBox, Fubo TV, Philo, Acorn TV, Mubo, AT&T TV, Verve, Dazn, Fandor, or like QuickFlix. Like, how can it compete, Jared? How can it compete?
Well, here's the thing, Cole. They missed their target audience.
Yeah, like, how can you compete with Acorn TV? It's specifically for squirrels.
Well, there's only two. There's only two real competitors, I would say, that compete on the phone market.
Okay.
And they're YouTube and TikTok.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that TikTok came out right at the same time with the same kind of idea and the same requirement of having it be on your phone.
Yeah.
And oh god, and one's juggernaut.
I mean, I hate TikTok, but you know what? I can't deny it's a good business model that is successful.
TikTok has ruined the Always Sunny songs.
But yeah, like if I was the creators of Quibi, my first thought, instead of getting, Lawrence Fishburne and Andy Devine and Adam Devine and fucking Kevin Hart and Chris Paul would be to get Vine stars and YouTubers and people used to making short form content.
Yeah, get fucking YouTubers who know this type of stuff. Get Mega64, get
just get freaking Markiplier and PewDiePie.
Or
Red shows didn't work out, so fucking just get them over here.
Or who are those Corridor Crew?
Yeah.
Those guys are perfect.
Yeah, they would have been great if they gave them their own 5-minute show. Because 5 minutes is the most they'll ever want to make a video of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like the perfect little chunk of an idea before you have to really expand it.
Yeah.
And the whole idea to compete was to, instead of all these things compete on the big TV, we compete for your time on the phone, which is that was just a fucking terrible idea, And they were trying to aim for this idealistic idea of you watching it on the bus or on the go in the short form periods of time. Yeah. And
you
know what picks up?
No one rides buses.
No one rides buses.
If you live in a major city, you ride a bus, okay? You ride a train. But you know what you do while you're on that train? You're on Facebook.
You're on Facebook, you're on Reddit, you're reading the news, you're doing quick little, or Quibbies, if you will, and you're doing it on a subject you can stop at any point.
You're not watching the Joe Jonas travel show.
You're not committed, You're
not sitting there spending 5 minutes attached to the same one thing. You're spending your 10 minutes of sitting on the bus to 20 things. You're spreading your, you're going to look at 8 articles, then click one through, fully read through it, and then look at another 8 articles. See, we live in a time where society doesn't want to be committal, right? We live in the biggest non-committal section of society.
I hate it.
So,
as someone with ADHD, I hate it.
As someone who makes 45-minute to an hour and a half long podcasts, as well as, another 30-minute long YouTube videos and whatnot, I kind of hate it too. But also, I am a proponent of it. I do the same thing. You know?
It's hard to break. And I don't know how. And the thing with Quibi was they never marketed it.
Oh no, I had no idea it even existed
Until I
Cole
came
over.
I saw it. I was like, Jared, you gotta see this shit. You want to watch this with me? Like, what the fuck
And
are
I
you
said
talking about?
no. And then he brought up the one show worth watching, and I still said no.
And like, and they can't even get like users sharing it. They can't even share screenshots because they didn't allow you to share your shit on Quibi. They blocked it.
Yeah, you could.
You you couldn't take a screenshot
Yeah, you
on
couldn't
Quibi.
screenshot or screen record.
So you couldn't have like the hot memes of Baby Yoda from Mandalorian? Nah, can't have that.
Or milk from the boys.
I keep saying you milk gifts and they're mwah,
Well, one
beautiful.
of them was from Angle, and I know about Kurt Angle. Man loved his milk. By the way, the one clip you showed me was legitimately from his Hall of Fame speech, where he was wearing a suit with a freaking toupee on a wrestling headgear, and then he grabbed two things of milk and poured it all over his face. He was also one shot Steve Austin with a hose from a milk truck.
Mm-mm.
So for all of you fans of wrestling there,
You know
hope
what
you
that
enjoyed the wrestling
reminds me of?
references. What?
It reminds me of Mad Max when they're driving the truck full of milk. Like literally the truck full of milk.
Breast milk at that too.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck is this? Breast milk. He's like, fuck it. But man. Anyway, why are we talking about milk?
Because memes can sometimes make shows go viral. Like The
Yeah.
Mandalorian's a great show. I want to say at least 20 to 30% of all watchers watched it because of the memes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
At least 1/5 to one. I want to say 1/5 to 1/3 have watched it. You know, because
It hit the lexicon, if you will, the media. You know.
yeah, the child transcended being a Star Wars show and became a pop culture icon to the point where there are people who know who the child is, but have never seen the show.
Who the fuck is Shiny Boy? I like the tiny green
Right?
baby.
Like they don't know who. I know I've seen the armor is. They don't know who the Mandalorian is. They don't know who those people are, but they know who the child is. They have a They have a. Okay, how big the child is. Me and my girlfriend were at was it Michael's last Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And we were looking at cookie cutters to make some Christmas themed cookies, right?
Yes.
And we looked at this one angel, and this lady, I want to say probably 60s to 70s, comes up behind us and she goes, "If you cut the bottoms off these guys, you can make that little baby Yoda character that my grandchildren love." I was like, "She's never seen the show."
But she knows what it is.
Yeah, but she knows what the reference is. And that's one of those things. I'm just like, "What?" And it's because the memes
Yeah.
transcend the character. And if you don't allow those memes, man, you don't want to get memed, you're gonna fail. You
And,
let
like,
yourself get memed.
The fucking thing is, like, they realized they fucked up and allowed it in June, and by that point,
Too late, man.
you're fucking too late. But don't worry, Jared. You don't have to worry. Do you know why? You can watch it in landscape or portrait mode.
Oh, hold up. I also have one more thing to say.
Okay.
So, this past presidential election, okay?
I don't. It's been nightmares.
We're going to go back all the way to February times, Cole. Back when
Okay.
it was less and more. You know, Michael Bloomberg, one of his key campaign strategies besides flooding YouTube with ads, because boy, were there a lot of Bloomberg ads on YouTube, was to pay the top Instagram meme pages to make memes referencing Michael Bloomberg.
Yes.
And it worked. It got him media coverage, got him news coverage, got him internet. Some of the stuff guys shared. The one that was like the guy, Trump's bank account, Bloomberg's bank account, and there's a dude looking away from his girlfriend, you know, that went viral, and people knew that Bloomberg was running. Now, granted, it meant nothing for Michael Bloomberg,
It meant nothing. He still lost.
but getting that out there just made people know about it. And you know, some people, if he had made it to a ballot, probably would have voted for him. You know, just because they knew about him.
And you have to be known about in order to compete.
And no one knew about this crap with your daily horoscope cartoon videos with little cartoon characters of the fucking.
Oh my god! Oh! I forgot to bring. Oh man, the horoscopes.
I'm on that right now. I'm on that page.
So, and then one of their big features was the fact that you could watch it in landscape or portrait mode, which is some of the dumbest shit.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what landscape and portrait mode is, I will have to assume that those people exist. Landscape is when your phone is sideways, and portrait's when your phone is right up.
Which anyone who's filmed something right ways up, go to hell.
Well, like there's some things that should be filmed that way. I will note, like,
and TikTok, and that's it.
Well, no, I'm talking about like if you're doing like a direct face video thing, right? It's better to film it long ways than it is to horizontally, you know?
Fine.
But like if you're doing a vlog from your phone, right? You don't want to have it horizontal, you want to have it vertical. But the problem is, right? You can't have it both ways. You can't have a shot be wide enough to fill up the whole landscape while also having such a focal point in the middle to be just a portrait. And that's what they fucking tried to do.
Yeah, it has to be designed for your shot. You can't just have it both ways.
Yes.
You'd basically have to record everything twice. And what they did was, like, if you turn it, like, it cut off the sides and, like, zoomed in. Yeah, it did a crop
zoom. And, like, and the problem is, right? And I was looking into this after we talked about it, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have a second zoom lens that recorded the portrait mode, because that's what I said, right? You could have a zoom lens, so all your cameras would have to be two pieces of camera sets, one with a wide angle, one with a zoom lens, and both of them centered on the same target, you know?
Yeah.
So the zoom lens is zoomed in, and if they flip it to portrait mode, it switched to the zoom lens shot. They didn't do that. It legitimately just zoomed in on the wide angle footage. And anyone who's ever shot anything knows why that is bad.
It just looks bad, and like a lot of ads were showing it off, and people were like, "Why do I care?"
I can also make their website glitch.
And you know what's great about this tech that they were spouting? It supposedly is stolen.
Yeah.
According to an ongoing court case, what they call a turnstile video technology, it was stolen from a tech company called Eco. And it's being fought in some district in Los Angeles. Stolen, allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
So, here's where I'm going to make a stink.
Okay.
Tech patents are stupid. Okay.
Extremely.
Did you know that... What?
Watch the John Oliver on that.
There is one man who, legally speaking, owns the patent to any web game you play on your phone, any... Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. He owns the patent to any of those things.
Is it like data storage on a small media device, or what does he patent exactly?
He owns the patent of a phone connecting to a server.
But
pull down data. Yeah, he Now he lost the court case. He has since lost the court case. That means his patent is worthless, right? But at one point, he held companies. He sued so many small video game makers to the point where they couldn't release games on the phone.
Like, the only way technology could work without it is, like, ad hoc.
Yeah.
Which is so inefficient.
So, essentially, I've said this since I found out about that little fucking loopholes. Tech needs its own patent category, right? The world of tech advances so fast, right, that... When he patented it back in, 2009, right?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, phones didn't do that, generally speaking, and he did create something new. However, within 2 years, in 2011, it was one of the most common functions of your phone to do.
There needs to be different patents on mechanical tech and software.
Yeah, just anything with computers needs to be only 6 months. Like you own a patent for 6 months. After that, you gotta let it go.
Like I can understand kind of the Blu-ray that's kind of running out now.
Yeah, that's hardware. Hardware is a different thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like hardware and software. Did you know there was a patent on video games?
Yeah.
Specifically for there to be a mini game in a loading screen.
Yes.
And now that patent is expiring, and if you're noticing a mini game during your loading screen, you can. I think it was Capcom.
Yeah, I believe it was Capcom because
It
they're
was
the ones who always had it.
Capcom for Resident Evil games. They got it through that, I believe.
But have you noticed, like in Devil May Cry, they sometimes have little screens where you could like attack all your enemies. And in is it Bayonetta? Was it Bayonetta where they had the loading screens?
I don't think Bayonetta was owned by Capcom. I could be wrong.
I think it was partially made by them, the first one, and then after Nintendo bought it, they didn't make the second one.
But like, I mean, now it's kind of bumped and going away since loading screens are like now being hidden, and now they're so fast.
Yeah,
like it doesn't matter.
But like the point I'm trying to make is just like so for anyone who ever went to school for technology or has learned anything about it, you know that the fact of what you learn in your first year is out of date by your third year. If any sort of technological degree in terms of computers, that is. By the time you reach your third year of schooling, the technology you were learning about your first year is out of date. Cameras. Do you know what the lifespan on a camera is, Cole? For like your run-of-the-mill $500 to $700 DSLR mirrorless camera. Do you know what the lifespan is on them?
Judging probably like 5 years, just because we keep upping the quality.
You guessed long. 6 months to a year and a half.
Jesus fucking Christ!
And but here's the thing, right? When I say lifespan, I mean for commercial use. For if you're using it professionally, that's how long you should use it for. But if you're like, making a shitty video, right?
Yeah.
You don't need the most up-to-date one. So, like, the cheaper ones work. But for, like, stuff like computer code, everyone just starts using the same bits of code at some point. And if you own the patent to that, you get the fuck over a lot of people.
All computers are basically old DOSes, right?
Yeah.
But we've just built up on it.
Well, unless you're a Linux user, then it's old Unix.
Oh, yeah, Unix.
Yeah. For Windows is based off DOS, and Linux and Mac is based off Unix. Is it weird that I know more Unix commands than I know Windows commands?
Yes. I was going to say, yes. I don't know, it's just weird.
A lot of routers and switches also run off Unix.
Well, it's because they're probably Linux-based, and that makes more sense for them. Because they're
Unix-based, actually. They're just off Unix.
I get it.
You know technology, Jared.
Yeah.
Jared do technology in Army. He a nerd. Fuck him.
Fucking nerd. Put up this Homer Simpson nerd.
Nerd. I'm just gonna say old man yells at cloud. Okay, Cole.
So anyway, back to Quibi.
Yeah. No.
Do you know how much money was put into this shitty idea?
Yes, I do, Cole. But tell me.
1.8 fucking billion. Just fund and start the app. To start it was 1.8 billion. Think of any idea you have right now.
Okay,
any idea?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. What's your idea?
I want to find every single bear in the world and put a bulletproof vest and a rocket launcher on it.
You know what? That might be less than 1.8 billion. I can't say for sure.
That wasn't the idea you were expecting, was it?
Yeah, but I mean, how many bears are left in the world?
Yeah.
Might be possible.
I do think it's significantly less than 1.8 billion, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's only going to be like $300, $500 per bear.
Bear?
Yeah. So, like, even if they're like, think about that. There would have to be like, I don't know, like 100 million bears for it to be more. And it would be $5 billion.
And like, I don't even know the amount of money that was lost during the 6 months that they basically flopped around like a dead fish. You know?
I'm guessing, like honestly, if you put that number into perspective, and then
because they were still developing new shows, I believe.
Yeah, their Twitter announced new shows as of October.
They were developing new shows. They were hiring people, and they were paying them a salary. You know, all these expenditures, and like they had to have lost more than at least 2 billion, probably way fucking more.
Yeah.
And like I almost feel like it's a money laundering scheme.
Yeah, as I say, when you put the numbers into perspective, it looks like a money laundering scheme.
It really does. Except for the fact that they hired all these fucking rich ass people to do it, which makes me like squint a little bit.
Yo, like Steven Spielberg, Idris Elba.
Steven Spielberg wanted to make a horror show called After Dark, where you can only watch it after sunset, only on your phone.
Yes.
Which,
why?
Why? Why?
So they went for exclusivity, right? But exclusivity means nothing unless you have a demand. You know what I mean?
Unless you have a show I want to watch.
But real quick, right? I'm on the Quibi site and I'm looking at their shows, and you remember that show Barkitecture we said looks adorable, where it's dog house designing for famous people's dogs.
Horrible.
So, if you can pull that up at some point while we're having this conversation, and just look at the editing of the key into the dog's mouth and tell me how bad it is.
Quibi Bark.
But like I've been looking at all their shows. I've been looking at like their main pages, like.
Wait, that's just keyed in.
Yeah, they legitimately just cut out the dog's face. Sorry about that.
They just cut out the key, though, right?
And they just cut out the top front of the dog's face, right? The tongue's fake, right? The mouth's not open. You can tell they just shadowed that. And then they put a key behind the face in that section and then added a tongue on top. And you can tell the tongue's in the wrong spot because the tongue is higher up than the key is.
Also, you have a dog that constantly sticks its tongue out, and when she has something in her mouth, her tongue don't look like that.
No, her tongue is smushed underneath it. Like, I don't know why I wanted to point this out, but because, like, I do all the photoshopping for all of our stuff, right? So, like, when I see something I could have done a better job at, it kind of pisses me off.
They also could have just made a fake key that the dog could have hold in its mouth.
Like, the dog looks like it was, like, not pictured for this. It looks like it was taken from an actual scene in the show. Yeah, it's Lily Singh's dog, it looks like.
It looks like it's like just on the green screen and just cut out.
It's not on the green screen. It's legitimately just cut out of the picture. The edges are too feathered. It's not perfect enough. They've added like the stuff in here, but if you look around like the neck or whatnot, it's not like that. It's not like perfectly cut out. I don't know. It was probably manually done from a scene from the show and just wrote a script there. But yeah.
It does look adorable, though.
Yes, it is adorable. But yeah, that is one of the many great shows you can see. Barkitecture, where two architects designed doghouses for famous people's dogs.
Or Jared, I looked this up. Or you could wait 2 years and just watch it on fucking something else. Because, according to the deal, they can't release it on something else in its current format, in the short form format, in like 10 to 5 minutes.
Oh, cool. Right? What's the way around that?
So what you do is you release it as like a 60-minute or like an hour or like more or 30-minute, and
60
then
60 minutes is an hour.
You know what? I might remember that. But like all you have to do is do that, and then you can release on anything just after 2 years. Or now, considering it's dead.
Yeah. Well, no. So legally, right? Even if they die, they still hold legal rights to everything. Weird, right? How legality works in that case.
So fucking weird. Which honestly, I would take them up on it because they paid for production and everything.
Hey, Cole, how much did this cost to produce?
So, judging from all the articles I read, it was about $100,000 a minute for a minute of content.
Okay, Cole. Right. Here's a real question, right? How much do you think it would take you to film, produce, pay someone to edit, pay someone to put effects in? Right? How much money do you think it would do for you to produce 12 5-minute episodes for Quibi, or an hour? 1 hour's worth of content for Quibi.
I think if I were to try my hardest, right? 500,000.
Right? That was my thing. I was like, I can definitely get 60 minutes done for less than $1,000 a minute.
Like, I think, like, if I tried my hardest and you budgeted it out and thought about it, 500,000 for a legitimate idea.
So part of the problem is they went for these famous actors like Keke Palmer and Adam Devine and Chris Paul, and these people you had to pay a lot of money to do this content. Kevin Hart is one of the most expensive actors in the world. You know, John Travolta, Jean Reno. How are you going to put Jean Reno in this shit?
John Favreau?
Jean Reno.
John Favreau.
The Frenchman from all the movies starring a French guy.
John Reno? How do you spell that?
Reno. R-E-N-O.
R-E-N.
I'm glad you guys stick around for all this crap.
Jean. Oh, Jean! Like Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah, Jean Reno. Anyway. What?
So fucking weird.
Anyway, he's French. Anyway. You get all these famous people who cost a lot of money and won a large budget for their shows because they got grandiose ideas and they're used to working with these large budget things. When there's this whole market of YouTubers, TikTokers, Vine stars, anything like that, there's like, yeah, sometimes we have $5,000 to produce 30 minutes of an episode, you know?
For maybe, or like for a quarter crew, maybe we have like a couple thousand for like a commercial for Battlefield.
No, the most expensive thing they worked on was The Division.
Really?
Yeah, do you know that like the Hulu, is it Hulu or Amazon? It's Hulu or Amazon has a Division 40-minute special. It was produced by Corridor Crew.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like,
oh, they hated it. They don't want to do it. They regretted every decision they had.
oh, because they didn't have any creative control?
Essentially, what happened was it was a miscommunication. Like, they never asserted their authority in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, essentially, they regret. They talk about one of their things where they regret not saying, "Hey, I understand that's what you expect, but here's what we can do." Yeah.
Okay.
So
and
they ended up failing to expectations.
So like they bring out these big guys, yet they don't know how to make short form content. So you know what they do instead, Jared?
They make long form content and cut it up.
They just make a long movie and cut it up. And an example of this was apparently like the Dangerous Game remake, which was apparently a good movie. It was a good movie.
What was it called?
The Dangerous Game.
Is it still on the site?
I don't know.
I can't find it. Anyway, keep talking.
It was the Dangerous Game, but in order to fit into their parameters, basically, they had to release it like in 10-minute intervals every day. So if you want to watch the next 10 minutes of the movie, you gotta wait till tomorrow, or wait till it's released.
Yeah, we'll just do what I do with every YouTube series I ever watch, and just wait till the whole thing's out.
And like the funny thing is, like they might have looked at YouTube in all the wrong ways, because there's a show called Memory Hole, starring Will Arnett, who looks at funny vintage home videos and puts his own little spin on it. Yeah. Except there's a YouTube show called Memory Hole, made by Everything Is Terrible, and they stole the premise, the name, and the graphics for it.
Yeah, it has this 80s style of graphics and these red bars, like cross-section bars, kind of like Tron, that the YouTube show also has.
Very 80s. It was like on a lot of NES art.
Yeah,
I want to say.
They're talking about Windows 95 in one of these, like.
And I showed you the graphics, and how close were they, Jared?
I would say about okay, there's a 0% chance, right, that they did not see this show, like when they designed the graphics, at least, you know. Yeah,
because it's red. It was like red grid on a black background, and they just added stars
with retro effects on text, right? Like a retro effect on text with some glow to it. And the thing about it was, like, if I told two people to make the show Memory Hole and give me graphics for it, right, they would not each come up with red cross sections. Like, no, the percentage of that is 0.
Also, whenever we think of an idea, we immediately Google the name.
Yeah.
We Google it to see what's out there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the LoreDump and us LoreDump are two different things that didn't exist, but happened to post their first thing within a week of each other.
look, we're gonna do a crossover.
I've never even talked to them.
But like,
reach out to them at some point.
at some point. But like, the people in charge of the show denied all of it. They denied any of it, and they blocked anyone on social media for pointing it out.
That's like when you watch Law and Order. As soon as the criminals sees the cops, he runs.
Yeah.
Like, just blocking people on Twitter is like the easiest way to admit I did the thing you're mad at me about. I'm sorry.
Just like block them. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. And like the worst thing about them cutting up all of the material, right, was it might have been done to avoid union laws.
Yeah.
So when you cut it, so you're paid based upon how long the content is. Weirdly, right? So like you're paid differently on a movie than you are on a TV show. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like 30 minutes compared to like an hour production, an hour movie.
Yeah.
And apparently they were able to skirt it with the 10-minute bites so much that they could pay their workers like $10 an hour, which not even Netflix abuses.
Yeah, and Netflix is a shady company. But also, Netflix also throws its money around too much now.
Yeah, really. And like you're paying these workers such a shitty amount when they probably work in LA, which is so fucking expensive
the highest cost of living in the world.
Yeah, probably a good like 70% of entertainment's made there.
Yeah,
probably. You know, sadly.
Yeah,
and like,
I mean, there's Atlanta. Atlanta's taking off now. If you want to get into acting, go to Atlanta.
Yeah, like a lot of.
It's where like Marvel shot.
That's where Walking Dead shot, I believe. That's where Archer's animated, oddly, just because of tax breaks.
You want to go into animation, go to Florida.
Yeah, Disney.
Another good place to go is Toronto for acting.
Oh, yeah, because a lot of places that were saying they were in quote-unquote New York were actually just in Toronto.
Yeah, that's the it's too expensive to film in New York, so they just go to Toronto.
Great example is Friday the 13th when Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yep. It's shot in Toronto. I just watched a whole movie that took place in Toronto. It took place in New York, but said it was shot in Toronto. I can't remember what movie it was. But anyway.
But, like, fucking Quibi. Man, and they were hemorrhaging money since the beginning, and they dared to blame the pandemic, Jared.
Yes, when every single other streaming app is recording record highs, when Amazon's owner triples his net worth. Yes, that is why your app designed to be watched on the phone failed.
Yeah, you know, when everyone else is trapped indoors and forced to watch stuff, you know. Suddenly you're just because we're not into your ideal like quick bites, if you will, on the go. Who the fuck watches shit on the go? Nobody. It's like weird.
So, and to put it in perspective for you, right? Quibi came out when? March. No, February.
March.
February, March.
Yeah.
Since then, it has 5.6 million downloads, which isn't good.
That's just downloads. That doesn't take into account.
It has a 92% drop off from free trial to
oh my
users.
God. This is like nothing to watch. What are you going to watch? Reno?
I'm going to watch hashtag Free Rashawn. I'm going to watch Agua Donkeys.
Well,
I'm going to watch Barkitecture. I'm going to watch Dismantled. I'm going to watch Elba versus Block. I'm going to watch Game Show. I'm going to watch Singled Out. I'm going to watch Murder House Flip. I'm going to watch the new Punk'd with Chance the Rapper. I'm going to watch Skirt with Offset. I'm going to watch the Andy Cohen Diaries. I'm going to watch none of this crap because it fucking sucks.
What about the horoscope shows, Jared?
Is that in news? I can't see it anymore. Let's see if it's in news.
But, like, And like the funniest thing is, TikTok came out at the same time, but instead of paying big name actors, they just had their users make all the content.
And there's like, hey, you fucking post.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they're huge.
Oh, they have a
And
knockoff 60 minutes where it's 60 minutes, but they only get 6 minutes.
the fuck? No,
I'm glad.
no.
That's the appropriate reaction.
And according to Katzenberg, to compare TikTok to them was comparing submarines to apples. His words,
It's
not
not.
mine.
It might be comparing apples to pears. You know, pretty similar, slightly different.
They're
But
very similar. They're on both fruit. They grow on trees. They even are the same color
skin,
sometimes.
They have the same stem. They have a similar texture. Taste is different. But you know, at the same time, it's you're comparing two mobile apps that require user engagement in videos, and you know, at that point, they're the same thing.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's so fucking weird. And
Yeah.
like, instead of getting small people, they get people like fucking Spielberg,
who
Del
never
Toro,
made the show? Yeah,
Del Toro, Kevin Hart in his Die Hard knockoff,
Yeah, Die Hard.
which is not a knockoff, parody. I'll say parody. Jennifer Lopez, Liam Hemsworth, Chrissy Teigen in her weird judge show.
Yeah, where is it? I saw it.
Eric Andre was gonna make a show, which is weird. And Will Arnett and
Joe Jonas.
they're gonna get some stuff from the Blumhouse.
So many WWE wrestlers.
Fucking Bill Burr,
What did he
Andy
do?
Cohen.
Yeah, Andy Cohen Diaries.
Well, a lot of these might not have been released.
One of my favorite actors, Idris Elba.
Tom Cruise,
Was he in there?
Dakota Fanning. Yeah, Tom Cruise is in here.
Is he on the Joe Jonas show, Cup of Joe?
I hope so.
So where he takes his celebrity friends to random places. One of them is David Hasselhoff.
I guess good for
Nicole
him.
Scherzinger, Matthew McConaughey, Jack Black. But yeah,
I mean, I want to watch the gamey show.
the game show. Okay, I didn't have this confirmed. Let's read it aloud. Glitter Rainbows Great Entrances, Matt Rogers and Dave Mazzani hosts as two straight contestants compete in a series of physical, mental, and performance challenges to test their gay knowledge. Who will reign forevermore as Queen of the Streets? All episodes streaming now.
Oh, that's too close to the mic there a little bit.
Sorry.
Big. It's okay.
I
What
have a
about Big?
limiter on my recorded audio though, so. Ha.
Okay, that's good. It was just terrible for me then. Want to watch Big Red Wolf? What is this show?
Cool. I don't want to watch any of this.
Oh, it's about the rise and fall of American Apparel.
Yeah, I know. It says that on the freaking cover, Cole.
Yeah, that's what I was reading.
Do you want to watch Dismantled? Who's
No.
the star? It stars Titus Burgess with
Do you wanna watch-
Porowski and Rachel Dratch and Dan Levy.
Do you want to watch Blackballed?
Nah, that's the Chris Paul sports documentary, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Chris Paul.
Let's watch Dummy. That was actually one I kind of wanted to watch.
Oh, it's about
Like
the Lob City Clippers.
Let's watch Fierce Queens.
Anyway, that's Quibi, I guess, huh?
Let's watch Kirby Jenner.
Let's watch Bad Ideas with Adam Devine.
You mean Quibi?
Yeah, exactly. Quibi was a bad idea start to finish, and it finished rather quickly. When your
6 months.
lifespan is the same year as you started, you it's more than just a failure of the times or anything. It's your idea was flawed and bad, and you should feel bad about having it.
Like, you're just so
Katzenberg-
out of touch, you know?
And $1.8 million. I don't think people understand how much that is.
Yeah, it's a fuck ton. Any idea you came up with is less than that.
I'm going to recommend you a video to try and conceptualize how big $1 billion is. It's called VFX Artist Explains $1 Billion by Corridor Crew. And he legitimately explains how much of $1 billion things is.
Yeah.
It is baffling. You can pull out a suitcase and have $100,000 in it, right? And you're like, oh, that's a lot, or $1 million, right? But to have 1,000 of those briefcases with $1 million, that's $1 billion. This was nearly double that.
Man,
Oh God.
it's like the difference between 1,000,000 seconds and 1,000,000,000 seconds.
1 billion seconds is 35 years.
I think it's 32.
It's 33, I think, actually. But I say 35 because it's a more round number and sounds nicer, Cole. And 1 million seconds is like a week.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference right there. 1 million seconds is like a week, and 1 billion seconds is over 30 years. That's insane. And there had nearly 2 of that.
I mostly just wanted to bring up this topic to laugh at it.
Oh, kick the horse while it's dead, Cole.
Yes,
Katzenberg while he's dead. He's still alive. Kick
he's
Meg
a rich
Whitman
person.
while she's alive. Her net worth's $5.1 billion, Cole.
Like, they didn't have to, like, waste everyone's time and money. They could have just fucking retired. Katzenberg has an accomplished career. Why did he have to make Quibi, you know? Just fucking retire.
Jeff Katzenberg. His net worth is $900 million.
Hello.
He's not really like involved in much anymore.
Well, not since Quibi.
Well, the other girl was. Anyway, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
And
for our ramblings.
That's kicking a dead horse with its dumb shows like Dummy and Fight Like a Girl. Oh God, no! Don't start it. And Let's Roll with Tony Greenhand for all you stoners out there.
I'm definitely gonna watch Life Size Toys.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Cole, say thank you to the audience.
Thanks for listening to our ramblings.
So join us next week for Kingdom Hearts. Join us the following week for Tremors. Join us for the week after that for Tremors. Join us the week after that for Tremors. Join us the week after that for Tremors. It's now a Tremors podcast.
Oh my God, we're gonna play the Tremors video game.
We're gonna rename it to Tremors. But
are we gonna get Kevin Bacon?
You know, that's the goal, Cole. That's always been the goal.
Oh God.
Okay, we rename the podcast Tremors. We get him on. We talk about Footloose.
We talk about Footloose, and we ask him if he's in the new Dune movie.
We never bring up Tremors once. We only talk about other things that Kevin Bacon has been in.
I need to ask him if he's in the new Dune show on Amazon.
Anyway.
Do you get it? Because it has sandworms.
Yes, I get it.
And they come out of the ground kind of like Tremors.
Anyway.
Like a similar premise. So they're a cool creature, but they're bigger.
Thank you for this.
No.
Cole, thank you for all the work you put into this. It's really nice.
Yeah, thanks. I half-assed it.
And thank you to anyone who made the YouTube videos that Cole watched.
Wherever you are.
And thank you to whoever wrote the articles that Cole read.
Thank you to whoever you are, probably strapped in a basement.
Anyway.
All right.
See you soon.
Bye, everybody.